To our special report tonight, which is about journalism and lies. It's about defamation and this big case that Fox News is on defense over, but it is about so much more than that. It's about some of the people involved, including Tucker Carlson, but it's also about more than Tucker. But to understand all of this, we're going to show you not just some of the new, hot, damning texts, receipts, and evidence that has been in the news, but we're going to go deeper tonight because it matters. And we begin with Mr. Tucker Carlson as our guide.
In the absence of any universally recognized standard or source of news, what happens? Well, rumors take the place of news. And so ultimately you have an electorate that is really poorly informed and incredibly suspicious. And in that environment, all sorts of crazy conspiracy theories bloom and take the place of facts.
Fact check, true. Now, that was 14 years ago, Mr. Carlson discussing standards, news, conspiracy theories, and the wider implications. And I'm going to show you tonight why some of what he has long said before is actually incriminating for him now, but also why it matters on a broader basis. Mr. Carlson was talking then long before he was embroiled in what is now a case about lies, what's technically called defamation, a suit against his network, including his comments, material, his evidence is all in there for over $1 billion. Now, to take one example you may have seen, there were text messages that showed Carlson did not believe the, quote, crazy stuff that the Trump lawyers were pushing and that he and other hosts platformed or potentially endorsed. Indeed, one of the questions at trial is whether they can be convicted of sorts, be held responsible of endorsing it. And there's a gap between what Carlson tells his audience and what he apparently believes, what he privately admits. So that hypocrisy, though, is larger than this case. It's actually run through parts of his career, while at times, as you just saw, he's also shown an awareness of the import of all this, and thus an understanding of the costs and the guilt of pushing conspiracy theories. Because now he's someone who, even if you put the election stuff to the side for a moment, has repeatedly pushed and platformed the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, which is a racist, anti-Semitic canard that has a lot of grave damage here in America and around the world. But remember where he began, with the bow tie, a kind of pugnacious writer casting himself as a digestible conservative for the mainstream. He wanted to be taken seriously, and he presented himself as someone who could have fact-based arguments with liberals. His career took off, and he became one of the most sought-after long-form magazine writers in the country, with bylines at Esquire, a New York Times magazine, as one New Republic profile put it. Now, back then, Carlson not only insisted that he was this fact-driven journalist, he also openly rejected the person who held the spot that he now holds today. So this is actually kind of interesting to look at. I'm going to show it to you. Carlson rejecting Bill O'Reilly, who was the top Fox host at the time, with a kind of a searing challenge against O'Reilly, arguing that he was just a phony entertainer. You look at this, I want you to watch this. It's kind of a critique many would apply to Tucker Carlson right now.
But I think there's kind of a deep phoniness at the center of his shtick. And again, as I say, the shtick is sort of built on this perception that he is the character he plays. He is every man, this kind of, he's not right-wing, he's a populist, this kind of Irish Catholic populist fighting for you against the powers that be. And that's great as a shtick, but I'm just saying the moment that it's revealed not to be true, it's over.
The moment you figure out it's not true, it's over. Mr. Carlson was using whatever his political and intellectual powers are to analyze Bill O'Reilly at the time as a kind of a Fox character of something Carlson opposed. And yet it appears he can use those same analytical abilities to follow in the footsteps or even take it farther. Now, the same year Carlson hit Fox's O'Reilly, he also probably said it'd be hard to imagine ever working over there at Fox that didn't have something that he wanted to do, demagogue. Then he landed a spot on CNN, co-hosting a show that was called Crossfire. And again, that sort of positioned Carlson as a conservative that could engage with others. Now, that show was all about arguing. Carlson was the host and then was famously beaten so bad in an argument on that show that, as the Times reported, CNN will cancel Crossfire and cut ties to the commentator. Here was that infamous exchange.
What you do is partisan hackery, and I'll tell you why I know
Kerry
it.
on your show, and you sniff his throne, and you're accusing us of partisan hackery?
Absolutely.
You've got to be kidding, man.
You're on CNN.
Say,
the show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you?
well, I'm just saying, there's no reason.
Now, this is theater. I mean, it's obvious. How old are you?
35.
And you wear a bow tie.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So this is...
No, I know.
So this
You're
is
right.
theater.
No, let me just go. No, come on.
And let's...
What's so striking when you look at the live audience is that's the CNN audience. Those are the people assembled for those two hosts, and yet you can see Jon Stewart struck a nerve. Now, it was bigger than that one moment, but as Carlson said, if the shtick is exposed, poof, it's over. And as far as that show was concerned, well, it got canceled. Then in 2005, Mr. Carlson came to MSNBC with a show called Tucker. And in case you didn't know, and you look at the history, it actually aired in what they called a primetime show on rival cable channel MSNBC. It actually aired at the time at 6 p.m. Eastern. The show was described as something that was supposed to be more playful and less partisan than Crossfire.
Welcome to the show. I'm Tucker Carlson. Americans voted for change yesterday, and less than 24 hours later, change is exactly what they got.
There's a lot going on tonight, including the latest installment in the Harriet Miers fiasco, Saddam Hussein's unique way of preparing for his upcoming trial.
First, things couldn't have been much worse for the Republican Party in last week's midterm elections. The reason for that can be summed up in a single word: Iraq.
That's a little bit of what that show sounded like right here on MSNBC. If you're a longtime viewer, you may recall it. Now, part of our job when we try to be objective or fair is both not to go too hard on someone just because they happen to be, say, on another channel, or go too soft on them because they happen to have some history or affiliation with this channel. So all I can tell you, quite honestly, is that's what that show looked like. It ran for about 3 years in this time slot, and it was, for the purposes of tonight's story, a different kind of show, but it was, like CNN's show with Tucker, canceled. After 3 years, they basically said it wasn't working in their view at the time. So this matters when you look at all of it together, because you can see someone who has tried all these different things and met with some level of pushback or failure to keep the shows on the air. And so then after that, Carlson found a new lane. He wasn't getting hired to host another TV show, so he created his own media, a political news website called The Daily Caller in 2010. And he argued it would be a conservative answer to popular sites at the time like Huffington Post. And he said it wouldn't be partisan. Quote, "Our goal's not to get Republicans elected. We're not going to suck up to people in power. That's disgusting," he told the Washington Post. So that's 2010 Tucker. And think about it. What he said then was that he was going to stand for exactly the factual mission that today's Tucker opposes. And the point's not just hypocrisy. The point is that Carlson's own standard informs his potential liability in court for what he's doing now.